Today we're going to take a look at the DAYFARER Sling 2 liter from Modern Dayfarer. Now this is a small sling at 2 liters, but it has a lot of unique features baked right into the bag, like this kick-ass magnetic opening to the main compartment. And on the back side, it has these really discreet swivel buckles that are attached to the strap that allow this bag to swing and sway naturally as your body moves throughout the day. So it helps with the comfort. Now in today's video, we're gonna go over all of the details and show you the ins and outs, and somewhere towards the back end of the video, we're gonna do a pack out so we can show you what exactly fits into the sling. Now with all that being said, let's start unpacking all of the details of the DAYFARER Sling 2 liter. Now Modern Dayfarer is a German carry brand, and one thing I really like about the brand is their eye for design. Now they dropped this small sling in the conjunction with a smaller 18-liter backpack, which I have a whole separate video coming on the backpack, so stay tuned for that, especially if you're interested in this bag. But as you can tell from the two items, they're designed very much alike. A lot of things are shared between the aesthetic, and again, even with their larger sling and their larger backpack, they also share a lot of similarities. And I like that about the brand. You can kind of spot a Modern Dayfarer product just by looking at the clean lines, the very minimalist aesthetic that's shared throughout all of their products. So when we start talking about aesthetics for the sling specifically, again, it has no branding on the outside. It has these nice, sharp, clean lines that give it a modern techie feel, a little bit of a techie feel. And again, it ties in very well to the backpack because that main lid as well is also magnetic. And if you're somebody like me who loves a matching pair, the combo of the matching backpack and sling is just chef's kiss. The one thing I really appreciated about this sling is its overall simplicity. Once you get into the main compartment, which is very easy via this lightning fast magnetic access here, you're met with a simple layout on the inside. You're not going to be bogged down with pen slots and zipper pockets everywhere. Very clean and simple layout, kind of in line with the overall design aspect of the sling. Now on the back side, you have a padded device sleeve for your cell phone and other devices, and on front of that you have two stretchy drop-ins there. Very nice quality of the mesh here. It is folded over and stitched at the top to give you a little bit of a lip to something to grab onto, especially if you're using like a pocket knife or a flashlight. It gives it something to clip onto. And then on the other side, you do have a zippered pocket on the back there. No additional organization, and you do have one key leash here. It's kind of on the small side. So this is a very tiny key leash here. And this leads me to a new segment that I'm introducing on the channel, and it's called, Why Did They Make It That Way? It's a segment where I try to figure out what the designers were thinking when they made it that way. So my best guess is this tiny little key leash isn't really meant for you to open your door while your sling is attached to you. I think it's more a way to quickly find whatever you clip to it in your bag. So if you clip your AirPods, your keys, flashlight, pocket knife, whatever you clip to this, it drops down into the inside of the main compartment. And when you're wearing the sling and you open it up, you can fish for the key leash and access whatever you clip to it. So again, I don't think it's meant for you to be opening up your door to your house, your apartment, your car, whatever it is because of its length. I think it's more for you to be able to easily find whatever you clip to it. So that's pretty much it for the main compartment. You have a little bit of branding there at the top, very subtle matte black Modern Dayfarer branding. There is one additional security feature on this sling, and tucked into the side here is a pocket for your smart tracker for your AirTag. A nice little security feature tucked away, and if you're not really paying attention, you're almost not going to notice that it's even there. Again, just a really great place for a security feature like an AirTag. Now when it comes to materials, Modern Dayfarer chose to go with the recycled 420D Velocity nylon. Now when it comes to 420D, that is my personal favorite weave of fabric. To me, it's a balance between lightweightness, but it's also very durable, but it's also going to be very resistant to dust and pet hair. If you do get something on your bag, you should be able to easily clean it off by just brushing it, and that is the case here with the Velocity nylon in 420D. It also has a little bit of malleability to it, so it's going to give this a little bit of space, a little bit of give if you want to pack up some bulkier gear, which I did on occasion. I don't think you're really going to like carry your camera in there, but I did carry like an Osmo Pocket 3 that was able to fit down in there. Very nice because of the malleability of the fabric. Now for the inside material, it's actually not listed on the website, but based off my experience of different bags, this looks like a 210D ripstop nylon in a gray material here. This is going to give you some contrast so you're not looking into a black hole. Makes it easier to spot your gear. This is the same kind of gray ripstop nylon that you would find on Air products, or like if you own the Toshi Sling or the Toshi backpack. It's very, very similar to what you would see on those bags. Kind of like a standard industry material for the inside. Again, it's going to be very durable for an interior lining, so there's going to be no concerns there of the longevity of that 210, even though it is a smaller denier than the 420 on the outside. Now, when it comes to the other components of this bag, they're using a fidlock stripe system here for the main compartment, and it has 3 levels of adjustment. So depending on what you pack out on the inside, you can make it tighter or you can make it a little bit more looser to give you some extra room. Now, one thing I did experience, depending on how I packed the inside, I would get a misfire, meaning that I would have one of the latches maybe attached at the top and another latch come down at the bottom, giving the lid like a crooked look. So aesthetically not very pleasing. It didn't happen all the time, but just depending how you pack this bag out, especially if you have a bulky load on one side and thinner on the other, you could deal with the same situation of that misfire. And on the very rare occasion, I had situations where the buckles didn't engage at all, or like I did right here, only one buckle engaged. So again, just something that you have to get used to, a little bit of a learning curve. But this lid naturally wants to come down and stay down. So even though if it may not connect, I never had a situation where this lid would just open it up by itself. So just something to keep in mind. Just be a little bit mindful when you're engaging it. The magnets do their thing. You just have to get them there to the right spot. Now, this isn't the only fidlock on this bag. On the strap itself, you have a giant fidlock V-buckle, which I'm a big fan of fidlock V-buckles in general. I like how Modern Dayfarer chose to put the fidlock V-buckle at the very edge here next to the strap. So what that means for you is when you're wearing this thing, that fidlock V-buckle is not digging into the center of your back when you have it on the front. And when you rotate the sling around, it's not digging into your back either. So it's a good location. It's a common location now where more sling manufacturers are starting to do that, because a lot of people are complaining of that buckle digging into the center of the chest or the center of the back. So I like the placement here. Even though I am a fan of the fidlock V-buckle, it's actually my favorite version of fidlock that they make. I never ever use buckles on a strap. So whether it's magnetic, fidlock, plastic buckle, I never use it. I always take my sling off by swinging it overhead. So for me, the downside here is going to be it adds additional weight and bulk to this strap when it's not needed for me. Now, you may be somebody who always unclips, so this is going to be a great feature for you, but for me, not so much. When it comes to comfort, this sling carries extremely well. The fact that you have a nice wide strap there is going to help you distribute the weight of the sling across it very evenly. The swivel system there ensures that this sling moves with you as your body naturally moves throughout the day. And of course, the fact that it's a longer footprint, a slimmer footprint, it just feels more natural when you're carrying it across your chest or your back. So overall, the comfort level is extremely well for a 2-liter sling. But overall, the strap itself is really great. It's that nicer, softer twill material. It's similar to what you're gonna find on a seatbelt. And all the hardware that they're using for all the attachments and the slider adjustment buckle here, it's all aluminum. So overall, it gives this sling a nice premium feeling. The downside is it's attached to that swivel system that we mentioned earlier. And while it's great for comfort, it is not removable. So if this strap doesn't work for you, or you don't like the fidlock buckle, you're kind of stuck with it. There is no alternative. So this sling does retail for $125, but I think if you look at the combination of materials like the 420D Velocity nylon, all of the metal hardware on the strap, the fidlock buckle here, the fidlock stripe, I do think it gives a sense of really premiumness to the bag. And I think it's easily worth the $125. Now, one area I thought was kind of weird going back to the key leash is that it's actually plastic. While functionally it doesn't do anything to change anything about it, but I think if they would have used an aluminum carabiner here, it would have tied in the overall premium feeling to the bag. But again, doesn't affect functionality, and it doesn't take away from me thinking that I think this is easily worth the $125. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw the tech specs for you up on the screen. Please feel free to give that a pause if you want to get a better look at any of those numbers. Now, this 2-liter sling, I do think it is 2 liters. It's a snug 2 liters, but I do think it is a capacity of 2 liters. And that's the range that I like to call Pocket Dump Plus. It has enough space for you to dump the contents of your pocket and carry a few additional items. It's fairly lightweight at just over a half a pound. Like I said, I do think this fidlock buckle and all the metal hardware does add to the weight of the bag, but overall, it's an easy trade-off for me. I would rather have the premium feeling and look of these materials than something cheaper like plastic. Now, currently at the time of filming, this sling does come in two colors, an olive and the black that I have for you right here. Now, I do think that olive colorway is extremely sharp looking, but of course, black is always classic. All right, before we pack this bag out, let me give you some things that I really enjoyed about it and a couple of things that I think could be a little bit better. Now, for me, the main thing I really liked about this bag is the magnetic quick access to the main compartment. So when I first got this bag, I was a little concerned that it was only essentially one compartment. I'm used to using slings with a little bit more organization, like the reworked Toshi sling, the 2.5 liter. That's a 2.5 liter sling and it has 4 different zippered compartments versus the one on this DAYFARER sling here. But the cool thing about it being one compartment and this lightning quick access of the magnetic pocket is that when you're walking about with one hand, you can easily open the sling and retrieve anything from the inside one-handed. So lightning quick access to the sling. Again, just a really good feature, especially if you only have one hand free. Another thing I really liked is the swivel system on the strap here. It really allowed this sling to move and sway and swing naturally with the body, and it just felt really comfortable as it just was able to adjust itself with these swivel straps. Even when you're sliding the sling from the front to the back or back to the front, the sling just naturally repositions itself in a comfortable manner. Again, all due to those swivel straps. And lastly, I just enjoyed the design and the choice of materials here in this sling. That velocity nylon, all the metal hardware, the fidlock buckles, just gives this sling a really nice premium feeling. Now for some cons to this sling. While I did enjoy the lightning quick access to the main compartment via the fidlock stripe, I do feel that this sling was missing at least one point of external access. Now, most slings on the back side have a zipper pocket or a slip pocket here for you to put your wallet, your passport, your cell phone, anything of that matter. And I did find myself missing at least one external access point, mostly for my cell phone. Yes, lightning quick open, get my cell phone out of the inside, but I'm just muscle memory so used to having most slings have that pocket there, and that's normally where I stick my phone and I can just easily grab my phone. So again, I did find myself missing at least one external pocket. And while we're talking about the back side of the sling, this strap is not removable. And I like the swivel system here, but I didn't really care for the giant fidlock buckle on the strap. Like I mentioned, I don't ever use buckles like this. So it adds a lot of weight, a lot of bulk, and every time you set this sling down, you're just slapping that fidlock buckle everywhere. So I typically change out heavy straps like this for something from Tom Ben, something a little bit more simpler. And the fact that I cannot change out this strap could be a potential issue for you as well. Now, when it comes to packing this sling out, you have that padded device pocket on the back, and I have some 3D prints here. A Kindle, a basic Kindle, is easily going to fit down in that device department, and you can get everything up into, this is an iPad mini 7, which is the most current model of iPad mini. It will easily fit into the device compartment, no issue. So in case you're wondering, that will easily fit. Now, I don't have these devices, obviously that's why I have the 3D prints, but your largest iPhone Pro Max will easily fit into the compartment as well, and that's exactly where I carried my cell phone. Now on the front of that compartment, you have 2 drop-ins there. Now they are stretchy so they can carry some additional bulk, and you do have plenty of room on that main cavity there, so they could easily push into there with no issue. On this side here, I chose to carry my slimmer power bank. Now this is something that I just picked up. This is from Iniu. This is the P73 Ultra Slim Power Bank. It's 10,000 watt milliamp, so it's gonna charge your cell phone at least 1.5 times, and I'm talking about the Pro Max cell phone here. And it's Qi 2 charging at 15 watts. So it easily attaches to your MagSafe phones, your MagSafe attachments, and it has a very strong magnet. It's not gonna fall off. And one cool additional feature I like about this battery bank is it has that kickstand there, help you watch your videos as you charge. So it is 15 watts of Qi 2 charging, but if that is too slow for you, Iniu has you covered. It has 2 USB-C ports there for some wired charging. And of course, the included lanyard is also the charging cable. So this is the way I choose to charge my phone, because this thing charges at 45 watts. So a lot faster than the Qi 2. So you can easily plug in your cable there, slap it onto the back of your phone and plug it in there. And it still maintains a pretty slim and sleek profile that I'm actually able to slip this into my pocket, let it charge at the full 45 watts for a little while, and then I can disconnect it and put it away. So like I mentioned, in case you want a little bit faster charging, you have that wired option as well. This is an awesome power bank. I'm gonna put a link down in the description if you want to check that out further, but this is the P73 from Iniu. Highly recommend this one. And like I said, I chose to go with this one for its little bit of a slimmer form factor, and it fits right into that mesh pocket, no problem. And I can tuck the included lanyard cable right next to it. So right over from my power bank, you have an equal size pocket there. This is the exact place where I like to carry my additional gear. Now this is my Wuben X4 Flashlight. I featured this in a ton of videos. This is easily the second best $20 I have ever spent in my life. That is a great flashlight at $20. Right next to my flashlight, I always carry some sort of blade, whether it's a box cutter or a pocket knife. I have my Kershaw here. It'll clip into there as well. And then the last piece of gear that I need with me at all times is a chapstick. Fits easily right next to both of those items there. Now on the front side of this sling, you have that zippered pocket there, and to me that's the most secure pocket on this sling. Now that's exactly where I chose to put my Wayfinder wallet. Now I don't access my wallet very often, and that's why I chose to put it there inside the zipper, because one, it's most secure, and again, because I don't access it. With the advent of Apple Pay, I really don't use my wallet too often, but you know, you always have to carry it for your ID and whatnot in case your Apple Pay don't work. Now, it fit in there perfect, and it's nice, sleek, and slim. It doesn't add any additional bulk. It's perfect for slings in these slimmer fashion like this. And that goes the same for my keys. I have a wireless key. I don't access my key very often. As long as my key's in my pocket, that's really all I needed to do. So I actually didn't clip it to the key leash. I just do it down in the bottom of the sling, and I'll show you why. I chose to clip my AirPods to the key leash here. Now the reason I chose to clip my AirPods instead of my keys is because there's easily findable. When I'm out and about and I'm walking, all I have to do is open this flap, reach for the key leash, and fish out my AirPods. One swift movement, I know exactly where my AirPods are, because I reach for my AirPods way more than I reach for my keys. So again, a great place for me. It just worked out functionally a lot better to have my AirPods at a quicker access than my keys. And then with the additional space in there was a perfect place for my sunglasses, which I have in this microfiber case there. And the very last thing to load up here is your AirTag, your smart tracker, with that secret pocket tucked away on the side. You almost don't even know it's there, but again, perfect size for the AirTag, and a great way to secure your sling and know its location at all times. Love the way they implemented that into the side of the bag. Then that's the perfect loadout. That is the Pocket Dump Plus. All your essentials, phone, wallet, keys, plus a little bit extra, power bank, sunglasses, flashlight, pocket knife, and chapstick. Of course, you have to imagine how your gear would fit in there, but I love this layout, and it overall keeps the form factor very slim, very sleek, very enjoyable to carry. Now for some final thoughts on the DAYFARER Sling 2-liter from Modern Dayfarer. I think that this is a very sleek and minimal pocket dump sling, perfect for the city carry, for the urban carry. I really don't see this as a travel sling because of the magnetic opening could pose some security risks, especially if you're carrying the sling on your back. But for every day around town, places I know, places I feel safe, I think that this is a great sling. A lightning quick access is going to be very popular with anybody who chooses to purchase this sling. And overall, at 125 bucks, this sling is very premium feeling, very premium looking. And like I mentioned already, this is the third time, I think that the price is easily justified. It feels like it's punching way above its weight class. But of course, I want to know what you think about the DAYFARER Sling 2-liter. What do you think about that magnetic opening? And also, what do you think about just having one compartment versus something like the Toshi that has 4 different compartments? So again, I would love to know your thoughts. If you have any more questions about this sling right here, please put them down in the comment section down below. I respond to every comment. The goal of this channel is to always help you find the right gear for you. Now, if you made it this far in this video, I want to say thank you so much for sticking around to the end. If you found any value in today's video, or you want to see more videos like this, please be sure to hit that like and subscribe button, as that directly supports me and the channel. I also want to give a shout out to Modern Dayfarer. Thank you so much for sending this sling out for me to test and review. But again, thank you for supporting today's video, and I hope to see you on my next one.